Hey Axis and Allies players, a good captain here. Welcome to a review of round 15 and the execution of round 16 of this game of Axis and Allies 1914. The French purchased 2 fighters, 4 infantry, and an artillery. There's a battle in Burgundy. And that doesn't matter what the Germans roll because there's a French armor, so we don't worry about that. And that's it. French collect 28. The British hit Sevastopol. Barely get the pick up the blocker. Blocker misses. In the rear, the British attack with 8 infantry against 4 defending infantry. That's actually not far off a par. It's like a 50% chance that you get a third kill. So it's 2 or 3 hits and they pick up 2, okay? And 2. Okay, so piece swapping in the rear. No surprises there. This one I think went, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there were only 5 pieces there, and none of those pieces got a hit. So that's neg 2.5 for the defense. And that was like 3 or 4 pieces expected. So really the only question was, what was the probability of getting a 5? Anything else is excess. So wasn't off the charts, but yeah, 5 hits not completely off the charts. But not to get any back, that hurts. And normally I would probably say that's a concession right here, but there is an interesting sort of a game mechanic at play here, and that is that the Russian Revolution is actually still on the table. I have this idea in on my main channel that I might advertise that somebody take a block of wood or something and place it on the table and put the words revolution on it, so that everyone knows the revolution is still on the table, because you have to pay attention to the beginning of the game. And when we go back to these early rounds, you can see round 5, round 6. Round 5, there was no offer, and round 6, Russia's gone. Poof. So this was never offered, and it is only offered once per game. So it appears, again, this Russian Revolution rule, these little hidden effects from it, it will be offered to the Central Powers at the end of the Russian turn. There's nothing. The Italians and the Americans cannot affect this. In other words, the only way the Russians wouldn't offer it is if Livonia was at least contested, or 2 of these 4 territories were contested or controlled. These remaining ones that are under CP control were retaken or contested by this Entente. So this is not the case. It cannot be the case. So I think I'll let this game go 1 full round after the revolution, just because I would like to see it purely at this point. And we'll see why here, because the dice don't go the way that we want them to as the CP in other battles on this board. But purely as a discovery, I'd like to play 1 more round. So like a conditional concession at this point. Because the Ottomans go. Let's clean up here. The Ottomans go, and right, we hit Smyrna and Ankara. I think this went poorly. Like the blocker battles are even going the way of the Entente now. So we barely clear the Smyrna. Who cares if we barely clear it? You clear it, and then the blocker hits. And then in Ankara, same thing. So our guys are just not causing hits when we need them to. And we're getting stung by these little, see, even in Ankara, where this is supposed to, anyway, thinner than we even were expected to be. So, not good. And then this is the cherry on the top of the cake is you know, this combat in Tuscany. So the Americans attack, and that's kind of what was expected. I was hoping to pick up some kind of dice in Tuscany as the CP. We did not. It more or less went slightly the other direction, actually. And here it just goes right down the middle of the bell curve. So expected hits was something like 26 or 27, and the Americans picked up 26. And the Austro-Hungarians were expected to pick up 24, and they hit 24. So just, you know, this is not the right. We got to pick up dice that go. Par is going to go to the Entente. As the CP, it appears that you need to be able to secure at least two of the larger, the two of the 50 piece plus, two of at least 50 plus piece battles need to go the way of the CP to have a shot at the W as the CP. It appears. So in this game, we actually had one at the beginning that went well the way of the CP, but you know, almost immediately rebuffed in all those subsequent battles in Livonia, and then everything else has kind of been either breaking even or leaning Entente in the larger set piece battles. So okay, let's continue though. Yeah, let's just purchase all infantry. I think I was thinking, yeah, so what we're going to do here is put one, yeah, let's put one, we'll leave one guy behind as a blocker. And evacuate the rest. With any luck, that'll pin the Italians. Oh, whoops. Of course, the Americans will still be a threat, so we need to stack up. Stack up. Yeah, that's fine. And then yeah, over here, so when it comes around to Russia's turn, they'll purchase. Well, actually, they'll collect an income, which will be weird. But nothing will otherwise happen. And then at the end of the Russian turn, they offer an armistice, which we accept, so the Russian income goes back to 0. All of these territories turn bright orange-red, basically, and become impassable to both sides. The British have one turn to vacate the territories. Obviously, they will attack, or in the case of Sevastopol, fall back, or perhaps in the case of Karelia, evacuate. But they have a turn to evacuate the territories, either by attacking or departing in some other way. So it looks like Ukraine is the next hot point. But we'll play it by the numbers here. Let's actually pull you back. Yeah, this is a bad. This is really bad. Yeah, this is GG. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pieces. That's gonna take everything. Huh. Yeah, let's just lean it out. Try to dice it up a bit. Okay, there we go. Next. So, let's see. I don't think there's any combats then. Huh. Yeah, let's done out. Drop in the pieces. So yeah, we'll just take the Russians' turn here. And then the Russians collect. And now I'm gonna... We offer the armistice, and now I'm just gonna accept it and turn all of these territories bright red. So there we go. Those will no longer serve essentially it's scorch earthing all of these IPCs and blocking off the territory access to these territories. So the British will no longer be able to come in through the top or the south. Normally this would look, I would be okay with that probably as the CP, but for the fact that there's already British in the base, so to speak, like having them back here in any amount, and then especially after having such crummy luck here in Moscow itself, you know, just not the best situation. Interestingly enough, even with a contested zone in Moscow, you know, that's still kind of a head scratcher. Does that mean the capital is liberated? I think so, right? Or, you know, I'm not sure. I actually probably have to look that one up, because contested capitals can still produce units and collect income. So would this have had to happen even with a contested, you know, situation? I don't know. That's something obviously I'll have to work that out before I cut the video for the revolution rule. Okay, for Germany, this I didn't look at all. Let's actually spend it all here. Let's get an artillery. Most obvious things first. Let's blocker these two. Put some kind of counterattack force together there. We just have to attack everywhere and hope we catch dice. So let's see, there's 6 pieces there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's probably as good as I want it to go. And then let's send 5 in this direction, I suppose, and 4 in each other direction. Takes yeah, this is it takes. Actually, there were some guys that were here, so oh no, we can't do that because it was enemy at the start of the turn. So yep. Just get every guy we can get up there. I think that's the word of the day. Yep. And so this is the reason this is such a conciliatory, like to concede in this position is warranted because there's no momentum left anywhere on the map for the CP. The Americans are as strong and growing, or at least nearly as strong. I get that they don't have air superiority, but this is basically breaking in favor of the Entente down here, and the French are, you know, basically breaking in favor of the, or, you know, developing a larger army than the Germans are here, and Air Force too. The only thing that might be going well for the CP is that on this turn we did turn quite a bit of the economy in the center of the board, especially if we secure the Ruhr. If we don't secure the Ruhr, which is more likely than not, then not so much. But there's potential. So let's see. Let's see. Okay. Way too little, too late. Okay, whatever. Drop them in. That's pretty much it. Let's see if the dice were on that. Yeah, Germans +5. I don't know. The British income will wash down a little bit. Let me check what their actual is right now. Oh no, it's actual 44. Oh, I was looking at the German money. Sorry. Okay, yeah. What? Wow. How the? Oh, because they popped the capital. Okay, yeah, duh. All right. Yeah, that's really odd. CP is. Okay, so what? So the resources don't look terrible. It's not good that the Entente have this. Allied 906 and 801. Accounting for naval assets, it's still surprisingly a land hub that's. Oh, and this didn't get flipped. Let's fix you. So, yeah, let's let it ride out another round. Yeah, but the momentum is from here on this portion of the map. There's so many options for the Brits just to start taking territory, and this time it would flip British, and there's no, you can't scorch earth the value of the territory with the revolution rule like we just did with all these other ones that are basically unattainable now for the CP. So we have to win them back. The British can't get new pieces, we can, so eventually this is a fight we win just by inevitability, but you know, at the cost of denuding the western fronts. So I don't know. Let's let it run out. Let's do another world turn and see where we're at the end of this my next video. It will probably be a concessions at that time. So yeah, let's roll one more turn. Thanks for watching this. All the best from the good captain, and bye bye.